I'll kill you.
And welcome to Nerd Fights. I am Michael J. Crawford, and I am joined, as always, by Dork Knight, who seems rather bored.
No, I'm just I'm still waking up, bro. Sorry.
Yes, because it's some people don't have to get up in the morning apparently, and so hope everybody is well.
Well,
today.
well, I got up at like 4 this morning. I just made some poor decisions and had to sleep it off. So that's
Yeah. Stop making poor decisions.
Yeah.
All right.
So how have you been?
I'm doing okay. As you can see, the man cave is coming along slowly but surely.
Yeah, it's looking good. Let's see. We're getting some feedback. They say my sound's too high. So let me see if I can. I've got it on automatic adjust.
Well,
let me turn that down. Maybe that'll.
It's probably because mine is actually a little lower.
All right. Let's see. Well, I turned mine down halfway, so maybe that's.
So
good.
let's see. Is that better, guys? So if we're a little better balanced now,
yeah.
It'll be better if and when you move to Nashville, because then we'll be using the same mic. Anyway, so 47 Yorktown first in the chat. Good to see you. Penny says Michael and son giving hugs and says hi to 47. Thomas says hello. I want to know if Michael and Son is like the TV show Sanford and Son. It's the big one. I'm coming, Elizabeth. Or wait, like the former president. I'm coming, Wheezy. So, yeah. And Mike Richards is here from Columbus, Ohio. Mike Richards, of course, the only good thing to come out of Columbus, Ohio. Gorilla is here. Apparently, this idiot called the Dork Knight is here. Or as he prefers to be called, Dork Night Leave. Oh, man. And so let's see. Captain Fandom Nerd is also here. Good to see you. Aravic is here. Let's see. And then, Thomas says, excuse me, but you're missing a very important person in your intro, Palpatine. I'm so sorry. Yes, indeed. The Emperor is here. And the lovely Sherry is here indeed, saying hello to Salty and Dork.
Hey, Sherry.
Of course, you know Sherry is lovely because lovely is literally Sherry's middle name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, it's like, how could you not be?
You're doing that roboting thing again.
Yeah, it's because I had to launch another app. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
It should die down here in a second.
Yeah,
is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yes. Boosh. What up, Boosh?
And Boosh McFadden. Go ahead. Welcome, Boosh. Boosh. All right. So let's get right to it because last time we couldn't, get through it because somebody kept going off into tangents. Now, I'm going to warn you. Every time you start getting into a tangent, I'm going to start unpacking my Bug Hunter gun. The further I get into unpacking this, the more shots you're going to take when you move to Nashville. So just to let you know.
Right on.
And all right, Mike Richards says, I'm not the only good thing to come out of Columbus, Ohio, but I'm not going to argue. Well, I've never heard of anything else coming out of Columbus, Ohio that's any good. All right. So the first episode we're going to talk about is Asylum. So Asylum is our first contact between the ragtag kids from Star Wars and Starfleet, and so they we start out with them meeting up with the mermaid people who are hunting the humpback whales from Star Trek 4.
Right, that's
And,
what I was saying. This was like a mix of Avatar: The Way of Water and Star Trek 4.
yeah,
and I had a question for you. So, just like,
yeah.
does every civilization that has whales need them for their planet to survive? Because it's kind of, you know
Well,
what I
no,
mean?
every civilization that has whales hunts them down, but doesn't really need them. That's the point. And no, Eric, we're not still thinking about Metropolis at this point. We're going to try to stay here if we can manage to squeeze out the money. Let's see. Yeah, and Bush is talking about how they're great for seasoning steaks on the grill.
Ugh.
Yeah, they're great until the whale probes shows up. Indeed. So they managed to save the whales once again. Meanwhile, Freak
Gwen's still having visions of her dad.
having visions of her dad, and but they beam the entire whale onto the ship, which kind of makes me think, why did they bother taking their little underwater shuttle thing to the whale when they could have just beamed the whale onto the ship?
Maybe they needed all their comm badges to, zero in on it. I don't know. I like.
But they couldn't. The sensors couldn't see a
And
giant whale in the water.
And how's the thing? Like in Star Trek 4, they had to build a aquarium basically.
Well, apparently this
transport
whale
the water.
doesn't need water.
That's what I was just so okay. Yeah, again, just try to. It's a kids show, so.
It's a stupid kids show. So they beamed the space whale to safe waters because apparently the mermaid people don't go to a certain part of the ocean to hunt the whales where the whales are all safe, because why not? Yeah. And Darren says, hi, how's the Saltmeister and Dork Knightley? So I'm doing good, Darren. Dork Knightley had a bad case of shore leave today.
Yeah, and my neck is killing me, but I deserve it, so don't feel bad.
Yes. No, Thomas. I don't know what their plan was. They never said what their plan was. They were just flying around it with the mermaid people, and they were trying not to be seen.
Well, they said that they were poachers or something. Like those
right,
mermaid people were.
But they were flying around the whale. They kept saying they were trying not to be seen by the poachers, and then they accidentally got swallowed by the whale, so they decided to beam them up. So beaming them up was plan B, but what was plan A? Who the heck knows?
Right.
They weren't going to kill the poachers, and they were trying not to be seen by the poachers, and they didn't apparently have weapons on the shuttle. I don't know. So, yeah, that was stupid. So then the Protostar goes to a Starfleet relay station. And we're like, oh, finally, we're going to actually have some Starfleet stuff happen on this show. And it's like, it's about frickin' time.
Right.
And so they go on to the Starfleet show, and we meet the Lieutenant Idiot, who or was it Ensign? I don't remember. Was it Lieutenant or was it Ensign?
He wasn't an ensign, so he had to be a lieutenant. But
All right.
he was a dipshit, and he doesn't like
Right,
by the
which
end of
makes
it.
no sense that you would have this guy working alone and unsupervised if he's this idiotic.
Right.
You know, it's like you don't give him a facility this big, and especially since if some new alien race is coming into the Federation, this is going to be the first person they meet.
Right. Um, hey, Alex, welcome to the.
Yeah. Hey, Alex.
And
So
Darren says this show is a double crooked letter total AIDS. I wish you guys would just ignore it. I'm not sure I know what total AIDS but it means, but okay.
yeah.
Duly noted, sir. But we're already committed. The
Yeah.
next episode is better, and the third one we'll go over today. If I don't derail us, it was funny. So there's that.
So yeah, we'll get there hopefully. So this episode, yeah, well yeah, I do think the third one has some serious humor in it. I gotta say. But anyway,
the guy doing his best William Shatner impersonation.
Anyway, so Lieutenant Idiot, and what's with look at the pips on him.
Look at his hair. My God, man.
I mean, he's basically wearing. I guess that would be a lieutenant's pips, but he also is wearing an enlisted man's pips as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, Alexander.
And so, who wins in a shirtless night fight? Me versus Neelix. Wants you to answer that.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to give that one to you, buddy.
No, I appreciate that. Very kind of you. I don't know that that's true, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So. Oh, is that a season 1 TNG Admiral Pip? What the heck is he wearing it for?
Yeah, that's what Darren says, and he's got that. I don't know. Maybe it's because he's the only one running this outpost or station or whatever it is. Yeah.
So anyway, he tells them to all come through the scanner device, and of course, it identifies, Pog as a Tellarite, and it identifies everybody except for what's her name,
Gwen, because she's from the food show.
And of course, when Dahl goes through, it says that he needs to immediately go to Starfleet Command.
Yeah,
and so they not only know what he is, but whatever he is, it is imperative that he go to Starfleet Command.
Maybe he's got the cure for COVID in his blood cells. Who knows?
Right, something like that, or we don't know. Yeah, or maybe he's some kind of genetic experiment that got loose.
Right.
Or,
yeah,
we don't know.
Yeah. See, my mom keeps bringing up this Discovery episode. Mom, nobody likes Discovery. I don't know what you're talking about. So, but thank you for trying very hard. And
yeah,
both chats there. She's like,
yeah. I I think you're the only one in our group that likes Discovery.
Right.
You and Daniel. Daniel's Hot Topics. He likes Discovery. So
does he really? Oh, God.
Yeah, he likes Discovery. But Wesley was called Murph's species as an insult. What was he? A Danubulan slime worm, I think.
Excuse me.
Which, by the way, that goes all the way back to the original series, except I think the Klingon in Trouble with Tribble used the term Danubulan slime devil when talking about Captain Kirk. But anyway, as an insult.
Yeah.
Anyway, um, so go moving on. So we know that that's important. So I was thinking, oh, cool. They're he's going to go to Starfleet Command. Awesome. Uh, and Darren is correcting me. It's the Nebian slime.
Denebian.
Um,
Denebian.
so
Oh,
maybe
and Mercer. They're both getting onto us. Whatever. Dr. Phlox and the EMH had a baby, and that's what that guy is. Yeah, I can kind of see that. That it does, Bush. That does look a lot like.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then we get a flashback of Chakotay, and well, it's not really a flashback, but a holodeck simulation of when Chakotay took off in the Protostar with Admiral Janeway there, sending him off. And that's kind of a weird shot right there.
Yeah, she's kind of standing behind herself.
Yeah, rather closely. I mean, that's like weird.
Yeah.
And then she's called away because they picked up a Protostar jump signature. Which, by the way, they pick up the Protostar jump signature all the way back where what's his face was living on the asteroid, right? So
Well, yeah, that comes up in the next. I can't remember if it's this episode or the next episode.
That's where they pick up his body there.
Yeah. Okay, that's the next episode. Okay.
Here's what. Oh, was he? He was a melanoid slime worm. Is that what he was? Okay, and I guess I was wrong. So, but the problem I have with that is that if they can scan all the way to the Delta Quadrant, what the heck do they need the Protostar for? I mean, seriously, if they...
Again, you're trying to apply logic and reason to a children's show.
Well, not only that, but the next day, they're there in her ugly butthole starship. Like, the Protostar is supposed to be this super awesome ship because it's got the protodrive and it can get all the way across the galaxy in, like, no time. But she takes her really ugly whatever class starship, and they're there the next day.
Yeah. So, Darren had a funny comment. I don't know if you saw it. How do I? No, I can't. I'm not. Normally,
No, which one?
I think it would have been awesome. That one. There you go. Yeah. But that's bad. I mean, 7 years in the Delta Quadrant. That puts some city miles on you. I mean, Janeway looked a lot better in the pilot than she did in the season or in the series finale. So,
and I get it. It's not. It's it's a secret hideout children's show. Boosh. Wow. So that just makes no sense to me. I mean, that's just bad writing. And come on, it's not like we didn't have bad writing in other Trek shows, but that's really bad. I'm sorry. That's just.
The main purpose of this episode, this is kind of one of the weakest episodes we've seen so far. I think the main purpose of it is for us to learn, or really we don't even learn until the episode after this, but to see that their ship is basically a Trojan horse. Like whatever her dad did to that ship.
Right.
Which they go into more detail in the next.
Well, we get to see how devastating the Trojan horse on this ship is.
Yeah.
But
and then Lieutenant Admiral douchebag or whatever blames the kids and leaves them to die. It takes the only damn escape pod.
Yeah, he was such a jerk.
Yeah.
I like Pog likes hot dogs apparently, which kind of makes me think. Well, wait a minute, couldn't the replicator or the replicators on the Protostar make hot dogs?
Right.
But whatever.
He's the Weirdest
Hey, does
Tellarite we've met in all of Star Trek, for sure.
Huh?
I said he's the weirdest Tellarite we've met in all of Star Trek, for sure.
Yes.
Between his robotic arm and his weird haircut, and he doesn't seem to argue as much as other Tellarites, though. You know what I mean?
So then we see the weapon for the first time as it activates.
I have got something better.
Uh-oh. And it looks like we got a donation, so...
Super chat.
So, Secret Hideout donated $1. Thank you so much, Secret Hideout. And Secret Hideout says, poor Darren and his secret hideout derangement. We laugh at your comments. We have brought greatness to the dying world of Trek, and we will continue for 100 years.
You're roboting again. Your mic was popping again. Or whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry. Could you make out what I said?
No, I couldn't. No. I mean, maybe they did.
Okay.
But... Yeah, Darren's like all
will...
caps. Roboting.
Roboting! All right, can you hear me okay right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Secret Hideout donated $1 and says, poor Darren and his secret hideout derangement. We laugh at your comments. We have brought greatness to the dying world of Trek, and we will continue for 100 years. So there you go, Darren. I think they're basically saying, go suck it.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So moving on. So now all of a sudden, everything starts going haywire. So the replicators start shooting burnt hot dogs all over the place, which is very reminiscent of what happened in one of the, I think it was one of the short treks. They had something like that happen.
Oh.
And then, we have all of a sudden Gwen is trapped inside the med bed, and it starts trying to drown her. And the hallways start locking up so that Zero can't get to her.
Right.
And everybody else is kind of stuck. And so the whole station is basically trying to kill everybody inside the station. In the meantime, the station is arming its own phasers at itself to try and destroy the station itself.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the virus is very effectively trying to cause everything Federation to self-destruct.
Yes.
Very effective virus. And the only thing that makes it kind of believable is the simple fact that it's from the future, so it's a much more advanced type of virus than anything that Federation technology could possibly handle. So that gives it an edge over, like, there's no way that Federation firewalls or whatever could possibly deal with it. So I'll give it that. And Darren says, you apes, I knew you were accepting money from Secret Hideout, you shill. No, we're definitely, I would take the money from Secret Hideout. They're not giving it. And maybe Salty should have had someone else build his computer. Now, it has something to do with the graphics card. I think I just need a better graphics card. I don't have a particularly powerful one.
I can't allow you to do that, Dave.
Yeah. Question of Trek is in the house. Haven't talked to you in a long time. Says, just started watching the show, and I won't lie, I'm enjoying it.
Hey, man, that's good. I don't want to kill your enjoyment.
Yeah, and I will. We'll talk about that a little bit. I'm not saying it's not an enjoyable show. I just don't find it a particularly Star Trek-y show, if that makes sense to you.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so continuing on now, while Gwen is in the pool, she starts to have flashes of memory recall. So she starts to have visions of some of the things that Dad was telling her from the previous episode.
Yeah, before Zero accidentally, messed her up with
Yeah.
his
And so then
reflection.
everybody's trying to bust her out, but it turns out that she could have busted out at any time because of her super magical bracelet thing, that she has because she's super awesome and stuff. Which is one of the things I find a tad annoying. She can just pretty much do anything with that bracelet. Which of course we'll see in a later episode. I mean, she's the secret of the weapon anyway, but yeah. So then we see there's the station's phasers firing at the station. That's not firing at the protostar. It's actually firing at the pylons of the station. The protostar just happens to be in the general direction that it's firing.
Damn, sorry.
And so everybody's kind of running, trying to get to the protostar. And then,
Here we go, Admiral Dipshit here.
yeah,
Everything was fine until you bratty kids got here.
Yeah, he's like, I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't your meddling kids.
Yeah, right.
All they need is for Murph to be there so you could say, and that stupid dog. So he literally goes to the escape pod and purposely strands the kids on the station as it's blowing up. This guy is a massive douche. Obviously, the kids could have said, come on the protostar with us.
Right.
But yeah, this was like one of the most horrible scenes because nobody, this guy is like the most not Starfleet officer ever.
Yeah.
So the station's blowing up. They're kind of screwed. So then they go on the outside of the station. Janeway, I got to say, holographic Janeway does so much stuff that holographic Janeway should not be able to do. So now holographic Janeway is piloting the ship to make it so that they can literally jump to the ship.
Yeah, I like how the holographic Janeway, because I believe it's the end of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, we already it was at the beginning where we see old Admiral Janeway with the short hair and the gray streak. But this is like season 1 Janeway from
right.
It's like it's kind of doing it for me. She's kind of hot. I don't know. It's like, yeah,
Dude.
I'm just messing with you.
So you're turned on by Clone Wars Janeway.
The young one, not the old one. Old one's not doing it for me. But that, she's got her hair up, got that, skinny neck. Still drinks coffee, whereas old Janeway has to drink tea. We'll get into that later, though.
You're a weirdo.
I know.
So I do kind of like this where she's figuring out how to, the equations of the orbits and stuff like that.
I thought that was cool. I did, it showed, I wish it had to be years, right? When Rob was...
she was learning all this. Yeah. A little more time on that in the episode where you got a feeling for how long she was stranded.
It had to be years to learn all the stuff she learned. My God, But this was cool because I don't know what any of this stuff is. I'm sure if any of you astrophysicists or rocket scientists out there can want to illuminate me, I don't know what any of these.
Like 8 years to become a true astrophysicist. So
yeah,
and she seems to really be an expert on this stuff.
Right.
Tom says maybe stuff like that is why he's alone in the middle of nowhere. Not sure.
If he's referring to me, baby, you want to come say hi to Mike and everybody else who thinks I'm alone in the middle of nowhere?
No, you're about to be.
Ouch. Yeah. I keep messing up. I will be. Yeah.
Exactly. Um,
Dude, my neck is killing me. I ran all out of pain medication, which is why what happened that I was talking about. And I get a refill tomorrow, but good Lord, man, my neck, because I had that neck procedure Wednesday. And it's always like this for like 2 or 3 days afterwards. It hurts way worse than it did before, but then and then you're good. And then, I got to go back in 2 weeks, get the other side done. Oh, yeah, sorry. Back to this. So apparently Rock's calculations were just a little off. Because they go darting past the ship instead of into the ship.
Well, that's actually something I thought was kind of cool, was that, they show the incredible difficulty of trying to calculate something like that.
Yeah.
And Arabic, the funny thing, the musical score of the show is good, but if you listen to it carefully, it is very J.J. Abrams.
A lot of this show is.
Yeah, but a lot of the musical cues, especially, you hear a lot of dun 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 dun, which is very J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
And so you hear a lot of cues that are just very similar to the J.J. Abrams track. So I think that, and you look at the transporter effects, you look at the warp nacelles. It's funny because there's a lot of stuff.
We talked about this before. Yeah.
A lot of stuff that's reminiscent of classic Trek and J.J. Abrams Trek, and a little bit of stuff that's reminiscent of the Trek that we've gotten from like Discovery and stuff. It's like this amalgamation of all the Treks that we've gotten. It's weird.
Yeah. It's a hodgepodge with a dash of Clone Wars.
Well, with
and
a
by
heavy,
dash, I mean, like we're in the.
It's actually
cauldron. It's the cauldron of
with
Clone
a dash
Wars.
of all the different Treks.
Yeah.
So then Janeway turns on the tractor beams somehow and tractors them all to safety. And once again, she has a vision.
But I think this is the one where this is when she turns around and says, "I remember everything." Right. I think it was this one. Yes, yeah, that's where she says.
Yeah. And then Janeway and crew
find
communicator and the body of the dad.
Yeah.
So you see, it's like, how the heck did they get to the freaking Delta Quadrant?
Papa Death. That's a great question. I don't know. Again, they make this show for kids. They don't expect kids to ask these kind of questions. You know what I mean?
Yes, but this show is supposed to be canon. That's my problem with it. If this show is not meant to be canonical, I wouldn't care. It's the fact that they say that this show is canon that bothers me.
Yeah.
And so they find the body, and that's the big, stinger at the end.
Alrighty. Well,
so,
we
thoughts on Asylum.
Kind of I don't know. I don't know if it's my least favorite, but it's definitely one of my least favorites that we've watched so far. I enjoyed the next one we're going to go over much more. It felt the most the one we're about to watch. I think it's called like Sleeping Borg.
Let Sleeping Borg
Borg's Lie or something like that. That was the most Star Trek feeling episode we've gotten out of this show so far. This one, I don't know. I wasn't a fan.
Well, my problem here is that the weapon doesn't work the way it was described.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way that it was described. Hey, Cece. No, don't worry, she's gonna slap you later.
Yeah, she's mad at me. I'm surprised she came by. I didn't get eaten. I was like, "Give me some sugar, baby." She's like, "No sugar for you."
You're lucky if you get sour cream. So
yeah,
but you have the. I didn't like the fact that the first Starfleet officer that they meet is a complete douche.
Yeah.
They didn't, but the weapon, the way that it was described was that the minute they make contact with the Federation, that it was going to spread like a virus throughout the Federation and wipe them out. But instead, all it did was affect this one relay station.
Well, they said when it
But it should have sent
encounters. Well, maybe I don't know. Did they? Because I don't know. Because we learn more about it in the next episode, where it's what I think like whenever it comes into contact with Federation technology, it turns it on itself. I thought. Because when they go into the Borg, we ought to just hop into the next episode. Really, I keep.
we'll get that just a second. And Thomas says, obviously, you don't remember the ship Janeway is in. Is just like the fake Starfleet ship Voyager encountered. That alien made to trick Voyager and get it assimilated. That has a quantum slipstream drive.
Okay.
Well, what?
Goku wanted to make an appearance, apparently.
Your cat's name is Goku?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you a nerd point for that.
We used to have Goku and Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi was a black cat, but sadly, she ran away a couple years ago. So.
No, I'd run away if I was your cat, too.
Wow. My cat loves me. That wasn't my cat. Chi-Chi was my son's cat, and it's his fault. She ran away because he spends too much time at his mother's. And I think the cat went looking for his human, and, sadly probably got ate by a coyote or something, because that's a thing out here.
All right. So let Sleeping Borg lie.
I actually like this episode, so looking forward to this one.
Hated this episode.
Oh, good. That's why it's called Nerd Fights. You hated it?
I hated this episode for one specific reason, is that I am a huge fan of the Borg.
Okay.
And
so what was wrong with this?
The Borg.
How so? What was wrong with the Borg?
We'll get into that.
Okay. All right.
So this is definitely going to be a part of my new Borg series. You weren't around for it, but I had this legendary Borg series that I was doing, and then I didn't finish it, and so I'm going to do a new Borg series. I was basically going through every single Borg appearance.
So it's a legend. Wait for it. Derry, your sequel to this, because you said it was a legendary Borg. So the part 2 needs to have the pause, like from How I Met Your Mother. It's a legend. Wait for it. Derry, Borg. Sorry.
And no, Thomas, you know how I feel about First Contact. So
I love First Contact. The movie First Contact.
Yeah, First Contact.
That's the best TNG movie they made, like easily, hands down. So good. You don't like it? Oh, we're gonna have to. You know what? I don't want you to start opening your gun, so I'll let you get back to the show. My bad. Yeah. We'll have to put a pin in that, and we'll talk about that in a future date.
Well, once we get through TNG, we'll have to do the TNG movies. But
yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so let Sleeping Borg lie. We start getting
This was confusing. Yeah, this was confusing until, like, I was like, I literally went back to the last episode because I had to. I guess because we were supposed to go over episode 11 last week, but I couldn't remember. Like when I sat down to get ready for today, it just starts, and I'm like, "What happened? What?" So I went back, and then if my dumb ass would have just waited another minute, she says it's a hologram. They're in the holodeck,
right?
But it was a little confusing for me because I was just like, "Whoa!" It's like,
so yeah,
I'm also
starts out in the holodeck. They're all kind of watching what the evil plan was. And somehow, I guess, I don't know exactly how, because they don't really explain how they got this holographic. I guess it was like a recording of what happened when he showed her the stuff from before, because then it showed Zero just before Zero revealed himself.
So if you're going to complain about this, then you have to complain about how in the movies, because the movies do this all the time, where for some reason, somehow, they have multiple camera angles of exterior shots. You know what I mean? Like,
and Thomas, thank you so much.
Oh, super chat.
Says, write this down. If I want you to watch Voyager season 4, episode 26, Hope and Fear. All right. I mean,
Hey man, he paid you $5. I mean, if he gave me $5, I'd watch it. So, you know.
all right. Well, let me jot it down here.
Of course, I'm probably cheaper than you. And Mom, I don't understand you. What do you like? Why are you? Do you know what DP means? Please don't do that. Don't say that. Why are you asking for DP? That's not cool.
Write this down. I want you to watch Voyager season 4.
What? Penny put DP in the chat?
Yeah. The hell is that?
I don't
Mom,
know.
if you don't know what that means, you might want to look it up.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna tell you.
other than the dirty reference.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so since I had to
Donnie Pearson, she's saying hugs that she.
Okay. So what's it's Voyager? What episode? 'Cause I had to
Season
open it.
4, episode 26.
Okay,
Season 4, episode 26 is called Hope and Fear.
for episode 26, Hope and Fear.
Hope and Fear, yeah. There's this really funny clip from
All right, wrote
wrestling.
it down.
Ouch. Where they trick this girl who's interviewing into saying that she loves DP, but she didn't know what they were tricking her into saying, and it went kind of viral on like Twitter and stuff because it was so funny. It was a few years ago. Is Murph already getting sick here? Is that why Rock's carrying?
Yeah, I think Murph is getting sick. And
because I know by the time they get to the next episode, he's legit
right,
sick, and Rock has to stay on the ship with him.
right. And yes, Arabic saying Dr. Pepper is excellent. All right, so they're watching a holodeck recording of what happened in the holodeck before, where he was explaining everything. And so then they come out of the holodeck, and although now I'm wondering, would a recording of what a Medusan looked like still drive you mad? Because would the holodeck safety protocols prevent you from seeing what would actually drive you insane?
I think you broke my brain. I might need you to repeat that. That and I Mom, no spoilers. And Darren, I appreciate the wrestling reference. Come join me on Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific for Dork Side of the Ring. Sorry, shameless plug. Anyway, so you're saying that the hologram version of the Medusan should also make people mad, basically? Is that what you were getting at?
I'm asking if it would.
I don't think so. I mean,
well, because remember, the Zero said, computer stop end program to prevent anybody else from being injured by his image.
Oh.
But I'm wondering if a holographic representation of a Medusan would in fact drive people insane.
I would think not, because if it would, why wouldn't Starfleet or whoever just use that as like a weapon? You know what I mean?
Well, but not only that, but wouldn't the holodeck safety protocols prevent such an image from being displayed?
Yeah, but let's see. Aravic has a good point here. Says that if a reflection can still do damage, maybe a recorded projection could too. So I mean, it could be.
Right.
I don't know.
But I would think, like I said, that the holodecks safety protocol would know that if this image is dangerous to all humanoid life, that it wouldn't allow that image.
Well, later in this episode, Gorilla, the answer to that question has to be no, because when Zero's communicating with the collective, Zero is out of his suit and in his natural form, and they wrap him up in those tentacles when they, we'll talk about when we get there, when they brainwash him for a little bit.
Yeah. Don't get me started about that scene. All right. So then they decide to find the weapon. So they start searching the ship. And, then they get the smart idea of, hey, why don't we use these nifty scanners we have?
Oh,
After they start searching the ship with their eyeballs for 20 minutes, they're like, oh, yeah, we have scanners.
We have tricorders and fancy doodads and thingy
So they
bobs.
scan, and then they find it in like 2 seconds, where they have this, ooh, look at this fancy marking on the floor, which nobody noticed before because, you had to scan for it.
Or you had to have apparently no, it's like you ever go to one of those gosh, what do the kids call them? Raves, I think, where like, they always have black lights and glow sticks and stuff like that.
Right.
And if you use certain ink, you don't see it unless there's a black light on it. So maybe it's just something like that, because that kind of is what that looked like a black light almost to me.
So then, of course, Gwen's fancy, Mary Sue wrist bracelet of awesomeness is
that her father gave her and can control. That we learned this in a previous episode, by the way. So,
is also the key to opening up the secret layer of the weapon. So they find it.
What is this? Okay, like they never tell us. This is like it's like a combination of things we've seen before in Trek. Like what? Remember in the ship Spock had from the future in the JJ Star Trek movie with the red thing or whatever. So I got little vibes of that. I got little vibes of nanotechnology. I got little vibes of Borg technology.
I was thinking about that weapon that Idris Elba was using in Star Trek Beyond.
And that one. Yeah, so this is a lot of different. I don't know if we're ever going to get the full backstory.
And it's kind of like the tentacles from the future in Picard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's like it's all over the map.
Yeah, Aravik, it does. It looks kind of Matrixy. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But whatever it is, there's no way for them to shut it off. If they shoot it with a phaser, it just dodges the phaser blast. There's literally nothing they can do to get rid of it. So they quickly make the decision that there's no way the Protostar can make direct contact with Starfleet, and which just basically sucks for them. This is them trying to shoot it with a phaser, and notice it just, nothing they can do. It just immediately turns into a donut. So,
yeah, and like, is it later in this episode or the beginning of the next when the Tellarite, he's just trying everything he can to mess with this thing. I think it's the beginning of the next episode. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Well, and the next episode, they also mentioned that they decide that even if they just tried to use comms to Starfleet, it would infect them.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess that goes to your point of why didn't
that when they went to the relay station should have infected all of Starfleet.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Well,
So, they figured though there's nothing we can do down here, but lo and behold, look at that, a Borg cube just happens to be there. And holographic Janeway says, yeah, that's a Borg cube. We need to get the heck out of here.
Yeah, she's like, I'm an advisor, and I advise you leave now. And of course, these dumbass kids don't listen.
yeah, they're like, oh well.
No, their idea is no. Actually, let's go in there. Let's just fly the whole ship in there. Let's see how that Which all right. I don't think have we seen something like that before? Did they do that in Voyager? Because I don't think they ever did in TNG.
Flew inside the Borg sphere in the season or in the series finale of Borg.
Yeah, but like a cube, we haven't seen because usually like Picard and crew would just like beam onto the cube.
Right.
They flew the entire damn ship. They
fly into a Borg cube.
Yeah.
And have a good night, Question of Trek.
Oh, hey, thanks for stopping by. Say hello to your mother for me.
Wow.
Well, everybody says hi to my mom, so I don't know. Sorry. Anyway.
That's because your mom is in the chat and she's cool.
Fair enough. Yes, thank you. Yeah, she's pretty cool.
So Janeway tells them they should leave because the Borg will analyze and adapt anything you try to do, and then immediately will overpower you and destroy you or assimilate you. And they're like, well, if they can analyze and adapt any weapon, maybe they can come up with a way to stop this weapon.
Or, you know, maybe they'll just want to take the weapon and assimilate you in the ship, you idiot kids. But whatever.
Right, you know. So let's, and of course, Zero scans the Borg cube and says, well, they seem to be dormant, which, okay, the Borg do have a regeneration cycle, so that could make sense.
Well, we've seen this before in previous Trek.
Right. So at this point, I'm okay with it, but you know, I'm not gonna be as time goes on.
Yeah, I can. Okay.
All right.
This
so
still though, this felt. I think because of the whole Borg thing, this felt the most like a Star Trek episode to me.
Oh yeah, I'll give you this.
I love this part. I love this part where she says the doctor
and she is pissed.
Yeah, she's like, tells this chick, I need to get a second opinion because her doctor said she had and like, what's the difference really between tea and coffee? They both got caffeine. It's the caffeine that the doctor doesn't want you to have, probably.
Well, you know what? She should be just drinking decaf and complaining about it.
Yeah, that would have been better. Yeah.
You know, I drink decaf because, you know, even though my blood pressure is fine, but you know, I got to be very careful because of the aneurysm and stuff. So I drink.
Yeah.
And
my son, my youngest son, Dorian, he drinks decaf. I don't get it. I'm like, what's the point? But he just really loves the taste of coffee. So
right.
All right.
Well, that's my thing. I love coffee, so I can drink decaf and be just fine.
Yeah.
But, you know, I because I love the taste of coffee.
Aravic, I mentioned it, I believe, when he brought that up earlier about I don't. They try in this episode. Have you not seen this episode? They try to assimilate.
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
we will get to that.
Yeah.
So I did like this scene, and this is my problem: is the scenes like this I enjoy because even though it looks like Clone Wars Trek, at least it feels like Star Trek.
It feels like Star Trek. Yeah.
You know? We have Janeway, we have other humans and humanoid species interacting.
She's a what are they called?
Trill.
Deep space. A trill. Thank you. Yeah. She's a trill.
But you know, we have them doing Star Trekky things, right? We have an unconscious alien. They're trying to figure out what's going on.
A snarky, smart-ass doctor. I mean, that's like.
You know. So it's typical Star Trek stuff, and I like it. And you know what? Getting Kate Mulgrew back and having Admiral Janeway and this all makes sense. I'm cool with it. Yeah. You know, it's just having the stupid kids running a starship that is stupid to me. You know, but this stuff is all interesting.
Gee, Mom, way to throw me under the bus. She says, so Donnie asks my mom how she's doing. And her answer is, oh, I'm fine. Just when my son isn't stressing me out. Mom, you're on the other side of the country. I can't stress you out that bad.
Yes, you can.
Okay, maybe I can. I'm sorry. Anyway, what do we know the race of this doctor? Have we seen this before? Are those tusks? coming out
Yeah,
of his?
they are. I'm not sure, but I thought he was cool.
No, he was cool. I was just curious.
Yeah.
I have not seen the species. I don't think before.
So, yeah, so they're trying to figure it out, and no luck really. Meanwhile, back to the stupid part. They land the protostar in the Borg cube.
Inside the Borg cube, like
Dumbest maneuver in the history of Star Trek.
Yeah,
I've
that I will
seen
agree with.
all of Discovery. This is the dumbest maneuver in the history. You land your ship inside a Borg cube. Thomas thinks he's a Tellarite. Well, he could be. Tellarites do have
Tellarites,
tusks.
do they have tusks?
Yeah.
Well, this guy doesn't.
Yeah, he
He's
does.
just got-
They're
he's
just
got
not as
fangs.
defined.
Oh, okay. I thought they were just fangs.
No, they're supposed to be tusks.
Oh, okay.
But remember, Pog is a kid. These guys are all kids. So his tusks are very small.
Okay. All right. Okay. Tellarite. Maybe that's why he was an asshole. Like, okay. Yeah.
And so
I
they
still
just
wish
start-
they would lean more into the kid, because Tellarites are supposed to always want to argue.
Right.
And Pog, I think is his name, or whatever his name is. He never. Pog is his name.
Well, and he's an immature kid Tellarite, so he hasn't learned to argue yet.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So-
Gorilla says that doctor is a Tellarite. Okay. All right. Cool deal. He's got a bitchin' hairdo and some gnarly tusks. I'll give him that.
So they're walking into the cube, just like being the dumbest kids ever.
Mm-hmm. And
I mean,
it's
this
so funny.
episode
I
should
guess you're
end
kind of
in, like,
skipping
30
along,
seconds with the protostar assimilated and the kids, drones.
right? I mean, first of all, like the Borg would be like, "Ooh, wow! Somebody just brought us a shiny new Christmas present.
Yeah,
Let's let's get on it." Yeah, this part I didn't like. I felt like they should have beamed on, not flown the ship in. That's but man, again, it's a kid's show, and the bar has been set so low so far that this is kind of my favorite. Because this episode feels the most Star Trek to me. Now, the next episode is kind of felt like Star Trek parody, but we'll get into that when we get there.
Right, but between the proto drive and the living weapon, you just bought 2 Christmas presents, gift wrapped, and set them inside the Borg cube.
And
why is every drone marching on the protostar right now?
100%. I told 100% agree. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And you're right, Thomas. The best maneuver is listing to the left, but that's in Star Wars. Do you remember the Blue Harvest?
Yeah.
Wow, this guy knows some maneuvers. All right.
Oh my god.
So they go in there, and of course, Pog falls in love with the tech. He thinks it's really awesome.
Yeah, but then he's like whining. You guys see a keyboard or buttons or anything? And he gets all frustrated because he can't, Yeah. That's this scene, right, where he's trying to communicate with it or whatever.
No, he looks up and he realizes that the tech he's holding is a drone.
Yeah.
There we go. He freaks out.
Yeah.
So, and it's kind of funny. So, the drones are mostly humans, which is correct because the drones are mostly humans. But I just think it's kind of funny that this is like the only time we see a lot of humans on the show. But
I mean, there was one of the Borg toward the end is a weird big.
Yeah, it's
alien.
a weird monster thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, this is the most humans we've seen so far. Between this and Janeway's ship, the real Janeway, not the hologram, the Admiral Janeway.
So they're like, "Ew, these guys are freaky because they're humans," and they're looking around.
They clean up well. I think you skipped that when they were changing from
Yeah, they
their.
did change into their uniforms, which is
And,
interesting.
wasn't Janeway? Was it this episode? But Janeway's helping him, and he feels like a fraud, or is that the next episode? I can't remember. They're running together, but when hologram Janeway's helping Doll,
No, I think that's the next episode.
is that okay? Sorry. All right.
So they find this, which has never been seen before.
This is the part I was talking about where Pog tries
this is
to.
where Pog was like looking for a
Yeah.
button.
Yeah.
But they find this, which is supposedly like the center of a Borg cube where all the information from every drone connects.
Yeah, I mean,
Now-
they didn't even show us this in Picard with when
Because
Seven
if this-
became the queen or whatever. You know what
Here's
I mean?
the problem. Remember, they were in and this violates everything we ever knew about the Borg. If the Borg ships had something like this in them, then all you have to do is target that and you take down the cube. But the whole point of the cube is that there's no central complex to them.
Well, I mean, that was kind of my beef when we were going over Picard, when Seven was able to like jack in and pretend to be the
device
queen.
was in Voyager. I don't remember this device being in Voyager, but maybe you're right. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've watched Voyager.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm saying, like
When I do
probably-
my new legendary Borg series, maybe I'll find it.
yeah, close to 20 years. You know, I haven't watched it since. You know, they're not available in Blu-ray. I've got the next gen, all 7 seasons on beautiful remastered, glorious Blu-ray.
That's because it's not been remastered.
None of the other ones except for TNG have been
Right.
remastered. Yeah. Well, I guess the original series technically was, but I don't like the newer. I don't like the updated special effects.
It's been a long road.
Oh God, don't you dare!
So yeah, they find this thing, and so they figured that since there's no interface for it, the only way that they could possibly get the information they need is for one of them to join the collective. And since Zero has been part of a hive mind before, that Zero could possibly join the collective and then come out of the collective and be okay. So they decide to do that. So Zero plugs himself into the collective, and we get this whole thing where Zero is, even though Zero is plugged into the collective and still in his machine suit, but we see the consciousness of Zero inside the consciousness of the collective, having a conversation with the collective.
Yes.
And basically, the collective does not go mad because the collective is such a huge mind and everything. And
Is that what it is? Is that headcanon, or did they explain that? Because that's basically
no, they don't explain it. But I mean,
Okay.
let's be real. We're talking about a consciousness of millions of beings. We're not talking about a single individual looking at a Medusan.
okay.
So they don't go mad. And while they're having this conversation, the drones start activating on the ship.
Which again, you'd think when they flew in with a protostar with the drive and the super fancy special weapon from the future, that's when they would have woke up. You know what I mean? But okay, whatever.
Right.
They're assimilating a Medusan, so that's what wakes everybody up. I don't like. Yeah.
And so the drones start coming after them, and I do like that. They phaser one of them, and he drops like a fly, and he's like, "Ha! They're not so tough." And then they start firing their phasers, and they all have shields. And like, oh, crap. Now I did like the Rock. Because they never notice that the Borg never adapt to physical force.
Yeah, dude, and Rock
Rock
beats the shit out of a couple of
tearing
them,
them
just
down.
like, whack, throws them off the bridge
And,
or whatever they're on. Yeah,
Yeah, and Pog was doing pretty good with him as well. but Dahl and Gwen were not having a good day.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, no, well, I guess we'll get there here in a second, but yeah, Gwen, well,
Gwen
her
had
her phone
magical thing actually broke in half.
broke in half, and then she,
I was shocked by that.
Yeah, because you called it her Mary Sue weapon, but I think this is where it's about to get broken.
Yeah, that's the first time I've
Ooh,
seen
that
Mary
wow,
Sue not work.
That's the look I had on my face when I had to get the that examination from my proctologist. You should go like that look that you just had it on for a second. That was exactly. It's like Moon River.
So
I'll never fight it. Anyway.
So everything is there's your monster. Thing.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
That does not look like a Borg drone. That looks.
It doesn't. That looks like something out of Star Wars. It looks like something out of Star Wars.
It's a parody of a Borg drone, right there.
Yeah.
Every other drone looks good. That one looks stupid.
Okay, Thomas is claiming, I think, that this creature we're giving grief about was in what episode of what series, man? There's only like 20 different Star Treks. Infinite Regress.
Regress. That's fine. But you know what? We've never seen a Borg drone that, well, I mean, we've only seen a few Borg drones that were not human. You know, as we've seen a Klingon.
He's talking about the Borg device. Okay. Voyager. Okay. You might want to take a note of that.
Because Voyager likes to piss all over the boy.
Just saying, you might want to take a note of that for your new legendary.
First Contact crapped on the Borg, and then Voyager was like, "Hold my beer."
Wow. We'll talk about First Contact one of these days.
All right, so then Dahl.
I gotta do something for my neck. I'll be right back.
He's going to do something for his neck, and by do something for his neck, I am sure he means something that's not legal in some states.
Oh, it's legal here. I tell you what, though, man, that is a big point of contention. Like, because as her job, as this slowly becomes like it could become a reality, moving out to Tennessee, weed's not legal there, and I don't miss. Everybody's like, weed makes you paranoid.
There are things that are legal here that you
weed does not make you paranoid. You know what makes you paranoid when you smoke weed? If you're smoking weed where it's illegal, then you get paranoid that you might be going to jail. That's what makes you paranoid when you smoke weed. So I haven't gotten paranoid in 14 years because I've been living in the...
You'll be okay.
All right.
Anyway, so Dahl manages to phaser a escape route for Gwen so that she can try to get Zero free. Meanwhile, Zero is still talking to the collective about the weapon, and the collective explains that the weapon is it's a living weapon from the future, and they're going to assimilate it so they can use it to destroy Starfleet. And also, take over the universe and all that.
Yeah, like what did these kids think the Borg were gonna do? Oh, wow, you're gonna bring us this really awesome weapon from the future? Yeah. We're gonna assimilate it. I mean, of course that's what they're doing.
Look at this. What is?
Yeah, look at that one. That's something out of, I don't know. That's weird.
I mean, did this guy just say, "Hey, do me a favor, just stick a toaster on my head"?
Looks like a George Foreman grill, but yeah.
Yeah, that's even better. That is the worst looking Borg drone ever. Was that a joke that one of the guys in the production department did?
Maybe,
Oh, man.
It reminds me of...
I never noticed that one before.
Some weird, like, horror fetish thing, like I don't know. So this I thought was weird. How can you entangle a non-corporeal being in tentacles?
Well, they managed to do it.
Yeah. Hey, Daniel's Hot Topics. We were talking about you earlier and your terrible taste in Star Trek Discovery.
Weird, just a toaster-headed Borg.
And George Foreman grill. But yeah.
Yeah, George Foreman assimilated. Oh, they show him go by twice.
They want that money. They like it. They're like, yeah,
Gotta
we're
get that
doubling
George-
down on this.
I think George Foreman did a sponsorship. The grease drips right off this Borg.
Yeah.
It goes through these tubes right into his chest.
Yeah.
That way he gets the grease right into his heart.
And this is where Gwen finally listens to the advisor, puts her weapon away.
Right. So they'll ignore you. Except that the problem is that if the Borg are actively trying to assimilate you, they will not ignore you.
Yeah.
But,
but there's never really been a ton of consistency with that throughout all of iterations of Star Trek.
And Thomas says that's what I'd look like as a Borg. You jerk. So Gwen just casually walks through the Borg and continues on her way looking for Zero. And then, she's...
And now, and this is that big monster Borg again.
Yeah, then
right?
the big monster Borg just grabs her. And it's like, why did all the other Borg ignore her if big monster Borg was just going to grab her?
Well, this is where she's in the room trying to save the kids, so now she's a threat. Because she's trying to save all the, because they're about to get assimilated.
Yeah. So it's like, oh no.
I mean, like, whatever happened to just getting, usually they just get injected with the nanites, and then it's over and done with. Like, but here they have to put them, maybe it's too scary for kids. I don't know. They have to post them out like Christ on, around this thing. And
well, it's much better for kids to know that they're going to cut off their limbs and replace them with new ones.
I guess
that's what kids want to see. So Zero's about to assimilate them by, I guess cutting off hogs.
And I don't understand. Like, I do have a little bit of a problem with this. Okay, how in the world do they assimilate a Medusan? Because you can't inject it with the nanites. It's a non-corporeal being. Even if you had assimilated the casing it's in, it could get out and just drive everyone mad or whatever. Like, this was confusing to me. Was it like, did they just do hypnobabble him? And then
sense that I don't think there's a way they could assimilate him. But now you can. It's canon.
Apparently. Yeah.
But thanks to the power of love, he just manages to get free.
Yeah, he's just like,
and not only that, but him getting free wipes out all the Borg on the ship magically.
Well, he didn't wipe him out. He said he just sent out a pulse and put him to sleep.
Him out.
Yeah, he knocked him out. But I was like, wow, why didn't he do that to begin with? You know what I mean?
I was so pissed off.
It's like we've never seen anything like that. I mean, that would have been
Voyager nerfed the Borg. Now a kid, through the power of love, knocked out the Borg.
Picard was worse than Voyager. I mean, like all the Borg got sucked out into space in that one episode.
Hey, at least they had a freaking garage door open.
Fair enough.
These Borg were literally beat by the power of love.
That's the power of love. It's the power of love. Now I want to watch Back to the Future. Damn.
Through nothing more than just his own willpower defeated assimilation and knocked out the Borg.
Yeah, that was a bit of a stretch. Daniel's Hot Topics asks, but is it canon? Is it really?
Officially, it is.
I mean, that's what they say. But this could be like Kelvin timeline canon, so I don't care.
Kelvin timeline.
It's not Kelvin timeline?
No, look at the shuttlecraft from the next episode. It's clearly not Kelvin timeline.
Well, no, you're talking about the Starflight people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that could have been before the Kelvin timeline.
Not. That the Enterprise would have been the shuttle from the Enterprise from the J.J. Abrams film.
It would have?
Yep.
Okay. There's not a lot of consistency with this show. I got to take a bathroom break. Are we close to finishing this episode, or is now an okay time?
So yes, after they completely nerf the Borg in the only way worse than Voyager, they get back on the ship and go on their merry way. And Janeway's like, "Oh, you guys impressed me. You beat the Borg. I beat the Borg a dozen times in ways that are almost as stupid as the way you did." And
it's a very good Janeway impersonation there.
Thank you. And they're all very happy, and they go off into space, and they fart on each other.
You skipped it. Go back. That little scene there from Admiral Janeway's ship was the.
They find the relay station.
Well, not just that, but Papa Terror wakes up because they did the thing with using the suit to infuse him with whatever that thing is. It's like you skipped over it, like it's like just basically he's like he wakes up.
The dad wakes up in sick bay. Man, there is a great shot of her ship. That's
Admiral Janeway's ship. Yeah.
That is such a dumb looking ship.
That is a top heavy ship for sure. That's weird. It is weird. It is definitely weird. Not a fan. Not a fan. All right, so you keep our crowd happy. Give me like a couple minutes to. I'm going to pee and get a refill, and you don't need a breakdown. I'll be right back.
Hurry up. All right, so this ship, I gotta say, is I think the creators' attempt to make a ship that's uglier than the Enterprise D, and I think they succeeded. I do. Thomas says putting the Borg to sleep, killing them in Best of Both Worlds was stupid. I agree, but putting them to sleep just by the power of thought in this one, I think, was even dumber. Watch that Voyager episode. It looks better. I will. If you're talking about the one that Thomas sent me, I will. Or are you talking about the Voyager episode that has this type of
the one? No, he's talking about the one. And if this is really loud, I'm sorry. It's because my mic's unplugged. He's talking about the one that has the thing Pog was trying to communicate with, but couldn't find a keyboard. I ran back out here just to explain that to you. I'll be back.
Good. Daniel says that ship looks futuristic. That ship looks like crap. It looks like a mushroom with a couple of warp pylons on it. Which Arabic then agrees looks like a mushroom. And by the way, good to see you, Daniel. But, I'm sorry. That ship looks like absolute crap. And Arabic says, no, the one with this ship. Yeah, so he's talking about the episode where this class of ship is seen. Well, I'm sure it couldn't look worse. Yeah, Hope and Fear, that's the one Thomas sent me, which he bribed me $5 to watch, so I will watch it. I will watch it before my live stream tomorrow night, so I will talk about it tomorrow night. Yes, BK. Yeah, it looks like it was grown in crap, i.e. a mushroom. Good to see you, BK, by the way. It's a Star Trek Online ship. Is it? Was this a Star Trek Online ship? It doesn't look like a Star Trek Online ship that I'm familiar with, but I haven't played Star Trek Online in a long time. And Danny, you shouldn't be posting in the chat. You're supposed to be coming back, because then I got to take a, Jaloja break. So hurry up. Jerk. Daniel says it looks like it was made in the Mushroom Kingdom. I would agree with that. BK laughing at that. Definitely the Mushroom Kingdom. That's a dauntless experimental science vessel. Yeah, I know what it is. It's just ugly. I think it's the ugliest starship I've seen in quite a while. I mean, it's just ugh. And I mean, I don't know how fast it's supposed to be, but it got to the Delta Quadrant in a day. And so based on its speed, what is the point of the, why is the protostar so awesome? That's what I don't understand. Is they make it out that the protostar's protodrive is so freaking awesome, but this ship seems to be just as fast under normal warp drive. And well, and even if it uses transwarp drive, then it's still just as fast. From what we've seen, this ship is just as fast as the protostar. And if it's just as fast as the protostar, then the proto warp drive, or whatever you want to call it, is unnecessary. And Indy Tiger is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Says, hello, all aliens, cat people, and robots in disguise. Wow, Delta in one day. Yes, indeed. And that's what we've seen in this show. As quantum slipstream drive. That's why it's so fast. Well, whatever the excuse, whether it's quantum slipstream drive or transwarp drive or whatever, I'm just saying that if it's just as fast as the protostar, what is the point of the protostar? You see my point? I'm saying, if it is that fast, why do we need and by the way, then why is the burn such a devastating thing? If there are, in fact, other forms of high-speed drive besides warp drive. And in fact, why isn't protodrive a common means of travel in the 32nd century? And yes, I know you're Saval. Have a good night, Miss Moneypenny. I mean, if ships are so fast here at the end of the 24th century, how fast is the Protostar? Is it faster than the Enterprise D? Oh, yes, it's much faster than the Enterprise D. But apparently, so is this ship. And Arabic, thank you so much. Shows a couple of bucks in there and says, that's it. Salty and Dork need to do Voyager next. Well, we're actually going to be doing the original series and the animated series next. Although Voyager, that would be fun because we could do a lot of fighting over Voyager, but that's Danny's favorite show. So, I wouldn't want to crush him too much. Because he is such a fan of Voyager.
Salty and Dork need to do Voy next.
I'm not even kidding on that. He does love Voyager. Why? I don't know. I think he's crazy. And yes, yeah, Arabic, I'm not kidding. He really does. I think it's because that's the first Star Trek show he watched. Because he's a lot younger than me, so that was like his introduction to Trek. Any day now he'll be, back, I hope. My goodness. How long does it take to use the restroom and grab a drink? Must be really having some trouble.
Look, man. The older I get,
The harder it is to. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah,
Can you get? Okay. All right. Yeah, man. The older I get, the harder it is to drop that deuce. I'm sorry. I didn't want to give you guys a play-by-play, but I saw my mom left, and I think you were saying something about me that wasn't true, I think, about Voyager. So I do like Voyager, but it's not because of the reason he gave. And yes, I am younger than... I wish my mom was still here. I saw while I was in the restroom that she left. My mom raised me right, man. I mean, good Lord. She had... growing up, I was born in '79, but gosh, I mean, as far back as I can remember, we always had a VCR. And I remember the first one we had was huge, silver, and like the thing came up at the top. But she had she had the entire original series, like on VHS tapes, and she had the first Star Wars. So this had to be before. When did Yeah, so this had to be like 80, 81, because I don't think we didn't have Empire, and I don't think Empire came out on VHS until 82. I think maybe 83. Anybody who in the chat who knows, let me know. So that was my first exposure. That's why Captain Kirk's always been my like dude. He was what I thought a man should be from my earliest memories. You know what I mean? Which is why, hey, he's gone. I can cuss. I'll fuck a green bitch all day long, thanks to Captain Kirk. So that's just saying. The concept of racism was foreign to me from my earliest memories. Was it 80? I thought it was 81. Well, maybe. Well, dude, like I said, I mean, I remember. And I shouldn't possibly remember this stuff because I was very young, like 1 or 2. But we had I had a football, like a big plastic football toy thingy. God, I wish my mom was still here. And I would get in, I'd empty it out and get in it and pretend it was like my own like escape pod or shuttle pod or whatever. And so the reason I like... I see that you're back, so I'll get to my point. I was purposely being long-winded. You pee much quicker than I do. I love Voyager because it was the first one my son Devin, who's 24 now, watched, and we watched it in real time together. So when Devin's mother left us, she left us. So I had him. I raised him, and so I was a single dad for a while, and he was born in 98, so I don't remember when Voyager ended, but my son was like young. He was a toddler, you know what I mean? But he'd watch it with me. It was cool, you know what I mean? So that's why Voyager holds a special. It's the same reason I like movies I shouldn't like that Ninja Turtle movie with Stephen Amell. I have no business liking that movie, but both of my kids... That was the first movie I took both my youngest kids to, that they sat through the movie, and so that was kind of a big deal, and like they enjoyed it, and they were like into it, so like it got me into it, you know what I mean? So I'm more about experiences, and then sometimes I'll go back and I'll watch something. Like I tried to get Cece to watch Legend last night. I think it was last night. Baby, was that last night? Night before last. The night before the Tim Curry movie by Ridley Scott. It's got Tom Cruise in it. So I had been wanting to see the European cut because I'd never seen it, and Salty Nerds did a review of the American cut, and it got me like nostalgic, and then I because I watched it on YouTube, you know how YouTube does, it recommended a different video. Oh. Super chat.
And this is one addressed to you, actually.
Dork really is that young. I'm 43, bro. And I got emancipated at 15, so I feel like I'm 50. But, And I've had a heart attack. Have you? Have you, bud? I hope not. I don't recommend them. They're not fun. Oh, you want me to read that? I'm not reading that. That's insulting. Fine. Dork really is that young, and he talks about being old. Really? I've got nightmares older than you, Dork. Sorry, dude. You know what? I would have believed you if you said you had a hemorrhoid older than me. But I'm bunks. Ariel, welcome to the show. I know. I love Violent Night. Did you guys see my tweet? They're making a sequel. I'm so stoked about that. Did you
Yes,
hear about
they
that,
are.
Salt? Yeah, they're making
They're
a
making a
sequel.
sequel.
Yeah, I'm so stoked about that.
They're going to talk about the elves and Mrs. Claus and stuff. So
Oh my God, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. That's like my new favorite Christmas movie.
Oh, we got
Another super chat.
And Indy, thank you so much. Says, does the Protostar run on the dead aliens from the one Voyager episode where they come across the other Starfleet ship? I would not be surprised if that was the case. Maybe Janeway finally had a change of heart and said, you know what? Screw those aliens.
All right. Well,
that's why the warp nacelles look different. It just scoops up those dead aliens. and scoops them up.
I don't know, man. Those are really tiny nacelles on that ship. You were giving me grief, because I was trying to participate while I was, dropping that deuce, and I said it looked like a Smurf animator made that ship.
Yeah.
But I like whoever said the Mushroom Kingdom from like Mario Brothers. That was more accurate.
That was Daniel.
Yeah. Okay, that was more accurate. So now that we've gotten some super chats out of the way, we've both taken care of any biological breaks we needed. Yes, they are, Daniel's hot topic. They are totally making a sequel to Violent Night, and I cannot wait. I tweeted it. If you follow me on Twitter, go. So I tweeted a few days ago, so it's there. The link to the article.
Hi, Bill. I'm sorry I didn't see you there. Good to see you.
Oh shit! Hey, Bill. Again, I am so sorry. I got Bill in trouble showing a stupid video on one of his he'll do
you
a
like
stream
getting people in trouble. That's just
I
what
don't
you do.
no. Well, dude, come on. How does this get somebody in trouble? The video I showed, because for some reason eagles being predatory creatures came up in the conversation, and I was like, oh my God, have you guys ever seen that video of the eagle getting that like picking up a goat and dropping it off a mountain? And they're like, no, and I was like, oh my God. So I played it. And that got him a copyright strike or claim or something. He was able to fix it, but I could not believe out of all the retarded videos on YouTube that a 15, 20-year-old video that's probably from National Geographic and it looked like it'd been recorded, on a VHS off a TV in the 90s.
That belonged to National Geographic.
Well, I don't know, but it was gnarly. But hey, Jedi Bill, thanks for stopping by. This episode is effing hilarious. I'm self-censoring.
This is a funny episode.
This is straight up parody. Once they get to the planet, you guys will see what I'm talking about. Like, this stuff is kind of serious. So I'll shut up and I'll let you do your play-by-play.
So we start out, and this is a little weird because we start out and it looks like Admiral Janeway is drinking coffee.
It does, doesn't it?
But she was drinking tea in the last episode based on doctor's orders, but whatever. But they're still on the search now for the Protostar because now they think the Protostar has been commandeered by evil aliens.
Yes, yes, they think, and she says that this isn't a rescue mission anymore; it's a manhunt. I think she's convinced that Chakotay's dead now. Right. And she's pissed. That's the vibe I was getting. What about you?
Yeah, because when they show a picture of Chakotay, the evil dad, he says that Chakotay's been captured or imprisoned.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
And
so I think she's
what Janeway does best.
In what? Being what?
I said being evil is what Janeway does best. Meanwhile, the protostar gets a distress signal from a planet, so they're trying.
Look at that. Can I just for a second?
You gush over the ship porn there.
No, actually, it's too small for my old eyes. I was gonna gush over how effing tall are the mountains on that planet. When you see like the way they're showing them in this shot, almost doesn't make sense to me. Like, is this a moon? Is this a like? You know what I mean? But they call it an M-class planet, don't they?
Yeah, I believe so. But that just means it's habitable.
Yeah, I when I first saw this shot, I was like, my God, those mountains are in the stratosphere of this planet. You know what I mean? They are way up there. Yeah. Am I right? Like,
actually, based on the what you see in the distance, you could call those really deep valleys.
Yeah, over there. But I'm saying, like, right underneath the ship, I'm pointing like you can see. Those mountains look like they're almost coming, you know.
Yeah, well, it's hard to say, but
yeah,
it seems like based on what you see in the distance is what you're seeing under the ship. Really tall mountains or really deep valleys?
Right. So Ariel's got a good question that I'll be honest, I don't know the answer to. I need to be able to click on this like you can.
What class is the protostar?
Yeah, what class is the it's NX, isn't it?
I would say, well,
it says NX, doesn't it?
It says NX because it's an experimental ship, but
yeah.
But I would say it's a one of a kind ship right now, so it'll probably be the protostar class.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been watching. So YouTube is. I don't know if they've.
No,
changed.
I did. Yeah, that's right. I do remember future Janeway was drinking tea. I do remember that.
Oh yeah, old from the finale, old lady Janeway. Yeah, but it really did look like after they did the tea joke last episode that she was drinking coffee at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
So something funny. You know how YouTube will like recommend stuff whether you follow people or not, even though I am subscribed to like way too many channels. Like you'd think they'd show me stuff I asked them
from
to show
those
me.
channels.
Yeah, but there was one I don't think I subscribed to it, and I probably should have. I can't find it, but it's called like something VFX. But the guy, it's a fan who recreates shots with Blender, a 3D program. Mm-hmm. And he does it from like Wrath of Khan. Dude, this is Star Trek related. Put the toy gun away, okay? I'm not a cat, okay? I'll be quick. Have you seen these though? He redid because like in Wrath of Khan, they did models. The ships were models, right? Not CG. So he redoes a bunch of these scenes as CG, and man, they are good. Like somebody needs to hire this guy. If I find it, I'll share it. But I was trying to look for it and I couldn't find it. I'm sure it's in my history, but I'd like to talk to that guy, get him on the show sometime. Like that's like dedication, like you read about. You know what I mean?
So you ready, or do I need to unpack?
Yes, I'm ready. Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So they go to this planet because they got a distress call. They're getting in their uniforms. This is where you're talking about that Dahl was feeling a little doubt there.
Okay, yeah. So this is right after I think she like puts his thing on and
right,
and he's having, this kid he's like a fungus. He's growing on me. Yeah, we'll see. I might like him. He's
feeling some doubts about being captain.
Yeah.
And they're talking about the planet and stuff. Because there's a lot of interference and stuff. They can't get a good scan, blah, 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 blah.
And I really wish they'd leave the kids in these uniforms because it just feels more like Star Trek when they do that, and I like it. You know what I mean? I mean, call me weird.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense that they're constantly getting in and out of the uniforms.
Yeah, just keep... Dude, it's Star Trek. Keep the damn uniforms on. Like, come on.
Right. Meanwhile, Murph is sick. So Murph,
Ariel says the ship looks like the Equinox. You might want to pull that up. I'm not sure. I
don't think it looks like the Equinox. The Equinox is a Nova class ship. It's smaller than this ship, and a little more like this ship has a big old tail on the end. They have a similar shape, but then you could argue that so does the Enterprise E and the Voyager.
Well, what did I say a few episodes ago? I said it looked like Enterprise E and Voyager had a baby, basically, right. And then in that J.J. Abrams nacelles. You know,
Right.
yeah.
Right. It has similarities to a lot of ships, but I
Yeah.
think that, all the Enterprise lineage ships.
I was Ariel.
I do
Thank you for
like the
joining us.
design.
I love this ship. I gush over it every stream we have. It's my favorite, easily my favorite thing of this series is looking at that spaceship.
So the away teammates is Pog, Dog, Gwyn, and Zero.
Yeah. See, you skipped quite a bit. So Murph is sick.
That's
and
what
Rock,
I said. Murph
and
is
Rock
sick,
doesn't want to
but
leave.
Rock is staying with Murph.
Yeah. Although my mom planted a spoiler seed, she says, "Is he sick? Is he sick?" Question mark. So maybe he's
Right.
pregnant. I have no idea, but we'll find out, I guess.
You know exactly what it is because you watched the whole season. Jerk.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, so they beam down. This is actually, I got to say, if you look at the lighting on this and stuff, it looks really nice.
No. Look, just because, again, I don't see his tusks, but that's fine. I see bottom fangs, but
Right.
even though both of us agree,
both right here is really nice.
both of us agree that the animation style is too Clone Warsy, and I think that's like both of us do not like that. Is that correct? Am I okay? But the animation, the quality is good, and this is a great shot. You've got it paused on to represent that. I just wish the style was different. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a nice shot of Pog there. But they walking around and they meet these guys. James.
Oh my God! This is okay. This is where I was saying
go so sideways.
It's just parody. It's like it's even better than Galaxy Quest at this point because this guy is even talking in the cadence of William Shatner.
So we have James T and Sue Lu.
Yeah.
And James T is like, I am James T. And the other guy is
so over the top. It's like
Sue Lu.
Yeah. Whoever is doing the voices for these two characters.
They're doing such a ham-fisted.
I love it, but I love it. It's so funny.
Kurt and Sulu.
Yeah.
And of course, look at those makeshift uniforms. They look like something that someone that had zero money but was going to a Star Trek convention and desperately wanted to dress up.
Yeah. And you notice like these guys, they all have the scientist officer emblem from the original series.
Yes.
And even though he's supposed to be a captain and he's supposed to be a helmsman, so they should have totally different.
But they all wear the green uniform, which was,
Well, later you'll see they've got when they're doing the play, they have different colors. They got the red and the.
Do they have the?
Yeah, you'll see when we get there and they're doing the play.
Yeah.
For the crew.
Right.
Yeah, you'll see when we get there.
So they're very friendly aliens. They're from what do they call it?
Starflight instead of Starfleet.
Yes.
Starflight.
Yeah.
And
Ariel, if they had gotten Shatner and Takei to do the voices, that would have been so awesome.
That would have been epic, but I don't know if you've seen this or not. You got to listen to the guy who's doing.
And by the way, that's the enginening emblem, not.
Is that engineering?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which
Sorry.
makes sense because it was. Oh gosh, forgetting the name of the character that was the one that was stranded. But that's an actual character from the original series.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. I think it's funny how they keep referring to the ensign's warning, but it's N sons. Like
yes, N son.
Anyway,
so yeah, Starflight.
Aravic says sounds Australian. That's funny.
Yeah, Starflight.
Starflight. Yeah. Good eye.
So they're very nice, and they take them to the Enterprise, Which
I wish you could. Do you have your closed? I wish you had the closed captions because, like, even though you don't do it just, you have to see what they actually call this stuff. Like, because it's like they're bastardizations of everything, but spelled differently, and sometimes you lose it if you can't see the words. You know,
it
so
is hilarious. It is.
Yeah.
This episode is definitely worth watching the series for.
Yeah. This was fun. This was a fun episode. Yeah.
So this is their home. That's like I don't remember how they pronounced it, but it was like Enterprise.
Here, I got it on my thing. What's the timer on this?
This is at about
7
minutes. Yeah.
Okay, hold up. And our times are different.
That's because I downloaded, so there's a few seconds beforehand and after with a stinger.
All right, I got you. Let me see. Oh, God, mute. But you're here at last. Live, logs, and proper. Federation. Yeah, Fed, comma, ration. That's how they say Federation. All right, hold up. Give me a second. It's about to... Welcome, my brethren, to Enda Prize, like P-R-I-Z.
Enterprise.
Enterprise.
Have a good one, Andy. Yeah, take it easy, buddy.
Oh, Andy's leaving. Good night, Andy. Thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Yeah, so this is the Enterprise.
Enterprise.
Yeah. Which, what I want to know is, what is the purpose of the nacelles? You know?
Yeah. We'll get into it.
And again, the nacelles look suspiciously like J.J. Abrams' nacelles.
I know. Yeah. But I guess the.
But this has got to be classic, because if you look at their uniforms, and you'll see the phaser and uniform of the guy that crashed, and we see the shuttlecraft of the guy that crashed. Yeah. Which it's the Galileo shuttle from the original series. So
the animators on this show are very confused.
Yes,
that's all.
So
that's all
yeah, I mean, there's no doubt
they clearly grew up on Clone Wars. Huge fans of Clone Wars. Maybe watched a movie or two from the J.J. Abrams verse. Got some cliff notes about the stuff they have to reference with Janeway and Voyager and the Borg and stuff like that, and they just kind of went from there. Because I don't feel like fans are actually making this show. I could be wrong, but that's kind of the vibe I get.
But the thing is that then they get little details so right in episodes like this.
Yeah.
And especially this stuff from the original series. The fact that the shuttle is so perfect, and things like the name of...
I love me some ship porn. When we get there, you're going to have to pause on it for a little bit.
Right. And the fact that they get the name of the stranded officer right. And I think it's Garavik, if I remember correctly.
We'll get there. And I've got my... on my screen, I've got my subtitles, so we'll I'll match you when you get there, and I'll get the name
So
for you.
they go into Enterprise, and they see it's an entire city inside the Enterprise,
and it's and they're even doing. I love this part.
So yeah, they all do a messed up. This is their version of the Vulcan salute.
Well, not just that. There are people practicing shitty.
Gorn fights.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense. How could they know all that? I mean, you got to.
But it was funny, though. It was funny,
your
dude.
Disbelief on this episode.
Yeah, but it's the most. The cool thing about this is this episode can get away with all kinds of stuff because it's basically parody. It's not taking itself seriously. That's what.
Not at all.
This is easily my favorite episode of the series. Yeah.
You okay, little girl?
They're trying to cross the streams because JJ has nothing to do with Prodigy. I don't think JJ's got.
No, JJ
to do. He's done. He's out of Star Trek. Yeah. It's all Kurtzman now, right?
Yeah, but even Kurtzman only has. I mean, he doesn't have anything to do directly with the production.
Right? Yeah. But what I mean is like Kurtzman basically took over for JJ as
Right.
far as Star Trek goes. Like JJ's
Right.
not a part of Star
After
Trek
the
anymore.
second film, JJ has nothing to do with.
Yeah.
with-
Other than like his production company, Bad Robot, still getting to,
yeah.
But anyway, we're never getting Section 31 or Star Trek 4. Just hate to tell you guys, but neither of those things is happening. So
Everybody still thinks Section 31 is coming.
it's not going to happen. The only reason they say that it's still in
ABJ.
production. Hey, ABJ. The only reason they still
Michelle
say it's,
Yao on the books.
exactly. Yeah, we've talked about it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Let's keep going.
who's the statue of? Like, I wanted to ask you that.
I think that might be Ensign.
It might be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's some of the practicing. Right here.
Yeah. They are literally, guys. They are literally like pantomiming the fight scene from that.
Right, here's
like,
one.
yeah. The double axe handle. The little clap. Yeah.
Yeah, so some classic Kirk moves there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But yeah,
so,
everybody's in green until they get to the play, and I yeah, okay,
all right. So here we go. So they invite them to sit down and watch this performance, and
which is great.
so, okay, so yeah,
Yeah,
so,
see, there's
that's right. He is
yeah.
the man in crimson. And so instead of calling him a red shirt, he is the brave man in crimson.
and with his final breath. I'll wait till we get.
Yeah. Instead of the red shirt dies, he bravely gives his final breath. So, yeah, and the statue had a red shirt, so that must have been.
So
him.
it's probably him. Okay.
Yeah, and that was Garrett. And
Was
by
it?
the way, I believe so. Yes.
These are my dying words. When did they
Yeah.
say his name? I'm looking for it.
They don't say it till the end.
Oh, till the end. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, when he
So
gives
just
his
so you
log.
know, like where you're 8:58 in,
Mhm.
I'm like 10 in. So we got like a minute difference for some reason. And
Right.
I don't know. Yeah. But anyway.
So I love the fact that Pog is just grubbing on that popcorn while they're watching this.
Was it popcorn? I thought they were like worms or something. Or larvae. I don't know.
Whatever the Telluride equivalent of popcorn is.
Yeah. But yeah, he's just munching on it the
Yeah.
whole time.
So they're enjoying the heck out of their play. Look at that. He's got a communicator.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I mean, the little things like in this episode just warm the
So,
cockles.
yeah,
of
they
my
talk
heart.
about how they can't, this species isn't ready for, first contact, but they need our help. So who is the brave person that will go down and help them? And so this man in crimson will come down from the sky.
Which, I mean, we are in agreement, right, that this is an ensign. This is not like an important, like, but they think like he's like the second coming of Christ, but it's just an ensign. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah.
Ensign.
Yeah.
And so they deliver this entire performance in dedication to his coming.
It was really funny. I really enjoyed this, but then they're all like, yeah, they look like worms. Yeah, they're little like worms or maggots kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. So after this, I mean, I can wait for you, but we get more insecurity from Dal,
Right.
because he's seeing parallels to how they are. How do you put it? Like these people are living a lie just like us, and it's just like they're doing a lot of character growth with him in this.
Right. He's like,
yeah.
how can we even help these people?
Yeah.
We're no better than them. And then and they're complaining that there's something out in the woods that's killing them, and they think it's some kind of monster.
Yes. Yeah. This girl comes in and basically dies in Dal's arms. Well, I mean, she doesn't die, but
No, she's got some kind of weird marks on her.
On
And
her,
she's
yeah.
got-
Well, and they get worse. Like so, after this, when they take after she like falls into Dowell's arms, you can see there's stuff on her face. But then
Right.
later in the sick bay or wherever, her bedroom, I don't know what it is.
Well, you see it right here.
Yeah,
on
you
her
see him
face.
there, but like she's got way more in the next scene, like
Right.
all over her. Like yeah,
And
so-
and she also, when she comes into contact with Dow right here, she gives it to him.
yeah. So it is
There's
contagious.
spreading.
Yeah. So it's like she's getting worse, and then right after this, we see it on Dowell's wrist,
Right.
here. Yeah.
So now it's looking pretty grim that Dow's going to go down too, which means that they contact Rock and say, Rock, you need to bring some EV suits down right now. Even though Rock's all worried about Murph, but it's like, no, look, Rock, this is more important. You gotta bring this stuff down to us. And
I love this character, by the way.
Rock?
Like, yeah, I love Rock. It's
she's
like,
cool. I mean, I like the fact that she's very she'll like when you saw her with the Borg, that's the first time you really see her unleash. So you get an idea of just how strong she is.
Yeah, but I mean, that's
But
not
she-
even.
Despite
sorry.
despite her physical strength, she doesn't want to use it.
Right.
You know,
She's like,
she-
I don't want to be, because remember, they wanted her to be a chief of security because of that, because she's big, right?
Mhm.
And she was like, I don't want to be the chief of security. And then however long that 10 minutes lasted for her, which I'd venture to say probably 10 years,
Right.
and she learned all the different fields of science and just, got a passion and a love for that. I don't know. This, to me, this character's had more of an arc than any other character in
Yeah.
the show. She's fun. Maybe it's because I'm a dad, and I'm always a sucker for strong, young girl characters, because I just am. It's I don't know. What do you think of Rock? Who's your? I'm curious. I've been meaning to ask you. Who's your favorite character so far in this show? Is mine's probably Rock.
I don't know. I'd probably pick Dahl. Actually, I really like.
Really, I'm not digging him yet, man.
I hated him at first, but now I'm like.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I like the fact a character that goes from bad to good. I like.
Yeah.
I think about the Mandalorian, the fact that he went from a complete douche in the first episode to a character you really can respect.
Oh yeah.
Any kind of redemptive character I dig. And Dahl to me is one of those. I like the fact that, and in fact, this is really the episode where everybody says, all right, Captain, where you want to go? By the end of this episode, they come up behind him and say, you are the captain. It's not just him saying, that's right, I'm going to be the leader.
And what I liked about that is because we spend the first half or maybe even 2/3 of this episode of him doubting himself instead of
Right.
being that blowhard, well, I got this, I'm the man. Like he's realizing, oh shit, I'm in over my head maybe. Like I
Right.
don't know, and so that's good growth as well. I don't know, maybe it's a cheat code. Rock got all that extra time for her character development in that episode with the what are they called? Temporal distortions? Yeah. Anyway.
All right, let's keep
But
going.
yeah, I'm sorry. Continue. Yes.
All right, so Rock comes down. They get the EV suits. She describes the monster, by the way, as having 2 giant red eyes, and sounds very scary and all. So we'll see.
Yeah,
what-
I'm ahead of you. I gotta pause this. I'm gawking at this gorgeous shuttle that's all beat up, but it is from the Enterprise. So that's how they know. You know what, man? Like, because you were asking earlier, how do they do this?
Oh.
The
here, this is what I wanted. I was pointing out. See, that is the TOS phaser and the
yeah,
TOS.
and totally. You're right. So, again, though, I still think they're just taking styles from all the different timelines or whatever. But they would have had the computer from that shuttlecraft, and it would have had all the, you know.
Well, except they didn't have
Watch
access
all that.
to it.
Well, they had to have.
No, because anybody that went near the shuttle got sick and died.
Then how? Well, shit. All right. Well, then, so much for. I was trying to answer your question. I guess we still can't.
So they go into this cave, which happens to have a ton of dilithium in it.
Yeah.
And they find, instead of glowing red eyes, the nacelles of the shuttle,
nacelles. Yeah.
Which was really clever, actually. I like that.
Yeah.
And so,
but why are they lit up? Is it a reflection from the crystal? Because this shuttle is totally shredded. You know, like in the shot you see next, like it's missing like half of its side. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, the shuttle has. I mean, the engine of a shuttle could easily run for 100 years if it's on low power like that. The problem is that it's slowly dripping plasma into that. You know, and that's what they were saying. Is
but I don't know. I didn't get how those were lit up when when he walks inside of it. Pog, pronouns pal. Sorry, it's so trashed and it's so like holes everywhere. You know, the console smashed. I mean, like you'll show it. You know, it's like I was like, I don't know. To me, it just seemed, I don't know.
Right.
Didn't seem realistic to me, but again, it's a kid's show. So
right. So they go to the shuttle and they figure out that the shuttle's dripping plasma, which is what's causing the problem. Yes. And so if they can repair the shuttle, then it will no longer cause the problem.
I do kind of have a problem with it. Is this because you're saying this is canon? That's the Galileo.
It is the Galileo.
So I didn't realize the Galileo went missing. Because for these kids to have found it post Nemesis, because that's when this takes place, is after Star Trek Nemesis. Like, do you ever remember the Galileo going missing? Because I kind of remember the Galileo being around. Like,
well, keep in mind that in the last time we see the Galileo was in Star Trek V, and it was a new version of the Galileo. It wasn't the original.
Right, and yeah, and well, that's why I didn't bring up. I'm pretty sure there was one in TNG, but that would have been a totally different whatever. So
there's no saying that the original Galileo was lost and it was just rebuilt.
Okay.
Because that is the original Galileo.
It's totally, it's the one, from the 60 whatever show, for sure.
So there's no saying that Galileo wasn't lost.
Okay.
And so Pog works on it. Well, now that they know what it is,
he's working on the cure.
It's very easy for
Dahl's looks way worse. I don't know if you showed that yet or not, but he's like,
but it's very easy for Zero to synthesize a cure because
like he said earlier, it was literally a line he said earlier in the episode. He's like, he can't make a cure unless he knows what's causing the problem or whatever he said, So, and as soon as he found out,
since it's a Starflight equipment failure that caused it, then it becomes very simple to synthesize a cure.
Yeah, and then and here we see he's all healthy and cured. So
right, and this is the cool thing is they need to get the ship close in order to fix everything, but they don't have enough crew. So they bring up a few people to fill in for the crew.
And they redo the bridge. I love this part.
So, but these guys, they look around the bridge and they're like looking at the controls and they're like, I don't know how to do any of this. So they reconfigure the bridge to look like...
Oh, I love this. Yeah, please show this. I mean, I know you can't like play the whole thing, but like there's a really good shot where it looks like the original series bridge. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So they're like, this I can do. Yeah, here's a nice shot of it right here.
Yeah.
So Dahl takes the classic captain seat there, and
I love that shot. That was good. That was good. You should have paused on that.
And
he was on in that chair.
Yeah, they fly into the cave, and they rescue everybody. Everything's happy. And they all live happily ever after in Starflight.
Why are you in such a rush?
Because but then we find at the cliffhanger at the end that Murph is no longer just sick. He's yeah, we're almost done.
Oh, okay, sorry. You
Yeah.
got to get going.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't.
Murph is
Dun dun dun.
in a cocoon.
Yeah,
So Murph is morphing.
Mighty Morphin Murph.
Yeah, Mighty Morphin Murph.
I tell you what, you did skip some sexy ship porn when the ship goes in to get the Galileo.
Oh, that was some good shots
Like,
there.
oh
So-
my god.
The thing I want to cover real quick is
Oh, I'm looking like oh my god, it's so gorgeous. I love this ship. Sorry.
so
Yeah, but
We-
the transport, like that's totally out of Kelvin timeline.
right.
They, anyway, sorry.
But we hear Garavic's final log entry as stuff is going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I was saying, so Garavik, and this is what I thought was cool. So Garavik is a character from the original series from the episode Obsession.
Okay, hold up. I want to take note of that because I don't remember this character, and I'm disappointed in myself, and I'm glad my mother's not here to witness me letting her down and shaming the family name. It's called Obsession. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Do you know what season?
No, I don't remember which season.
I'll look it up. It's fine. Obsession.
But it's an episode where Kirk is obsessed with destroying a cloud monster. But what happens is Garavik is the son of an officer that was Kirk's first captain on the USS Farragut. And Captain Garavik was killed, and his son is a security officer under Kirk. And Kirk and Garavik work together to kill this cloud monster. And Garavik is a young security officer.
I feel like I should know what the hell you're talking about, but I fear I might have killed too many brain cells.
So to hear about Garavik's death in this episode actually kind of hit me because I knew that character and I kind of felt sad that he died like that. But then to see that he concluded this whole society based on James T. and Sue Lou, I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah. I missed that, so I'll go back and watch that.
Yeah.
So like, because it didn't resonate with me, but I did love how they basically, it was like if it kind of had the Galaxy Quest feel. Like it was like if you know how they thought like TV shows were historical documents in Galaxy. Yeah. So it kind of had that vibe with me, where it's like these people, of course I was totally wrong, came across the space shuttle, watched all this stuff, and built a society around it,
Right.
without knowing anything about it. So,
So that's basically it for this week. We actually managed to get through all 3 episodes.
we did. You kept me mostly in check. It
Yeah.
sounds like you're the wife or
she just got
son.
home. So she was
Yeah.
like, okay, we need to eat dinner because it's late.
Yeah. Well, go spend time with her. Hey, I did want to. So you've got that other channel, Ebony Onyx and Ivory, huh?
Onyx and Zircon.
Onyx and Zircon. Sorry, Onyx and Zircon. So I being a good friend, I subbed,
Okay.
and because I subbed, stuff pops up. And I thought this was supposed to be a show with you and your wife. It's just you, like, saying Jesus stuff over pictures.
Right now, yes. Me and my wife are going to start doing stuff as soon as I get this room arranged so that we can start recording stuff.
Okay. All right. So you're just kind of like, I don't know.
The
Just
current
getting some content on there because it's just you're You're kind of basically like an online pastor, if you think about it, man. No, like when I was reading. When I was watching some of those videos, you're just. It reminded me of sitting in sitting at church, listening to Pastor Bachman. You know what I mean?
Well, that stuff that you're listening to right now is a devotional for the fast that I'm doing, and so
I was going to ask about that because it does say fast, but then you're just like. Talking, you're just going over Bible verses and stuff. What are you fasting? Like, is this
the fast that we're on?
Go ahead,
I'm not eating any meat during this fast, which I will tell you that's horrible. I
couldn't imagine that. I'm a meat eater. Yeah, I'm a carnivore for sure. So.
And then during the fast, not watching any secular like movies or stuff.
Oh my God, my mom came back just to start spoiling stuff. Mother, the hell. Sorry.
Hey, if you know what,
if Murph really, if
you might not have had your problems today. So.
Hey, first of all, that's not what I was talking about, but that is true. Maybe no, because I did listen to it all. That's what brought this conversation up, Mother. Because he's my. That and I kept expecting your wife to at least say something, but it's just you the whole time on all of these videos. No, she says Murph is going to become a butterfly. Like, come on. That better just be a joke because he's in a cocoon.
You know whatever Murph becomes, so, But, no, the wife and I will start doing stuff. Also, my good friend Jason... up in Canada, he and I are going to start doing a weekly show on.
Dude, I don't know why, but fucking love that dude. I know who you're talking, Jason. Like we'll message each other. Like he'll send me funny little things on Twitter DMs, and we'll talk. And it's always a pleasure when he and I are on streams together. He's just one of those cats, man. Like even though we've never met in person, I feel like. If he came out to Vegas before I left and we hung out, we'd really just...
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, just hit it off. Yeah, he seems super cool.
So yeah, Jason and I are going to do a weekly show.
Is that going to be, religious oriented or just something else?
We'll be doing basic... because we're both Christians, but we're going to talk about probably, more just topical stuff.
Okay. That's what I was getting at because you've got... The stuff like we do, where specific reviews. Then you've got the stream of consciousness, pop culture stuff. Then you have your Sunday morning church stuff, and now you have this other channel where you're doing even more church stuff. So this is just going to be another like pop culture type thing with Jason.
It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be topical stuff. We'll cover a wide range of stuff. So, depends on where we want to go with it. So could be anything from flat Earth to conspiracy theory.
Oh my God! Okay, you got me. I'm definitely gonna be watching that. That's my cup of tea. Hey man, I don't want your wifey to get mad at me.
Right. Oh, she probably did.
Oh shit! So we should probably wrap it up.
Yes.
Make like a virgin on prom night. Wrap this thing up.
Wow, you're just horrible.
I'm sorry. Oh, this one's better. We can make like a baby and head out.
Yeah, that's not much better.
That's not much better? Oh,
no.
Okay. Okay, make like a tree and get out of here.
That's better. At least that has a nerdy connotation. All right, guys. So remember, you are the salt of the earth. I'm the salty checker, and Danny is just kind of clueless. And
Danny's a dumbass. You can go full red on me, like from that 90s.
You kind of are. You need to not get in trouble again, dude.
I know, man. Yeah.
You need to do better.
I know.
Because, otherwise, I will personally kick your butt with my cane. I will do it.
All right, I believe you.
My cane has a pointy bird on the tip, so you don't.
God. Ooh. Yeah. No.
Yeah. You don't want to know where I will put that bird.
All right, man. You're right.